What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is Mary Jane Reservoir. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, by the time you're seeing this video, it would have been a year since I arrived here in Winnipeg, and I've had a pretty good year out there. Caught tons of fish, a lot of new life listers and new PBs, even got my master angler badge. All in all, pretty good time. There's one particular species of fish that I've not caught out there this year yet, and it's been a little over a year since the last time I actually have caught one, and that is simply largemouth bass. Now, Mary Jane Reservoir, that does have a self-sustaining bass population, but we are requested to release any largemouth bass we catch. And of course, I have to give credit where credit is due. I have to give a big shout out to JT Fishing. If not for him, I wouldn't have known about this particular lake and that it has largemouth bass. And he actually made a video where he got out there on his kayak and he slayed some largemouth. Of course, I am a bank angler. We don't have a kayak to get out there. But the plan is going to be to try and get out there and see if we can get on some bass. Alright, so let's test our luck, see if we can get some bass out there. Alright, ladies and gents, so not the species we were looking for, but of course there are also some walleye in here. So let's quickly get this fish off the hook. Been throwing around top water and some different types of lures. Finally swapped over to little Ned rig. We got ourselves a little walleye. Lovely colors and patterns on this walleye. The green, let's get him back down to the water. Head first and off he goes. That was very quick. He went straight underneath the dock. Alright, so that's our first little fish landed. Little walleye. Throwing little Ned rig, thinking some of the bass might go for that. But of course, walleye will also go for them. I'm going to throw around some more, see if we get something different. Right, another little fish for a little Ned rig. Let's see if it's another little walleye or if we have something different. No, indeed, another little walleye. I seem to love this color of the Ned rig. Get him up here. Lovely colors on these fish. Got them nice in the corner of the mouth as well. Second little walleye. Let's get him back down there. Off he goes. I think maybe something to do with the color. This blue and silvery. The walleye seem to like that. Now, of course, in this particular reservoir, you are allowed to keep 4 walleye. But I didn't bring any ice or any cooler boxes with me, so I'm not going to keep any fish today. Already have a fish on the drop. don't want to be putting my drag a bit higher because I'm using 4-pound test line on this rod, nothing big, so I don't want to tighten the drag too much. But this feels a bit better. And again, another little walleye. I think it's safe to say this is the biggest one so far. He's been caught before. He has a little hole there in his lip. Lovely little walleye. Let's get him back. Off he goes. Been seeing some bigger fish jump out there. Thus far, I only could figure out where to find the little walleyes. There we go, another one on. Gonna try and catch a few without stopping the little camera. All seem to be the same size. I hope it's not the same fish over and over again. But lovely little walleye. Get him back down there. And off he goes. Again on the fall. If they don't take it on the fall, then it's a very light tick in the line. They're not grabbing it and swimming off with it. It's a very light bite. Another little walleye. So far they've been getting hooked pretty well, not swallowing the entire bait. Lovely little walleye. Let's get him back down there. Off he goes. Weird how some of them immediately swim to the deep waters while others go straight below the dock. Also gotta love the robustness of this elastic little Ned rigs, catching quite a few toothy critters, not having any problem. Alright, but I think having caught a couple of walleye out there at least, we did get on some fish, and these are not the targeted species, so I think I need to move around, find a spot where we can find something a bit different. Alright guys, there we go, little Ned rig, got ourselves a largemouth bass. Lovely little football of a bass, little chunky guy. Haven't caught a largemouth in quite a while, happy to get on one. Now sadly this little dock thing, I don't have a good way to get down to the water, and we have to release this bass, so I'm just going to give him a bit of a drop. I'm going to drop him head first into the water, and off he goes. Strong good kick and he's gone. Finally got a little bass out there. And that is also my first Canadian bass. Picked up on a few smallmouth but never got to land one. So that little largie is my first bass here in Canada. Alright ladies and gents, set out there with the goal of getting some bass out there today, and we were successful. Now getting my limit of walleye 4 times over, that's just the icing on top. Now sadly we only got the one bass, but still pretty fun time out there. And in retrospect, I think fall is a pretty bad time to actually attempt this, for the simple fact that these fish are probably chasing some bait fish around somewhere. They're all schooled together. They can be anywhere in the lake, not necessarily the places where I'm trying to fish. But that does bring me to an important thing. There's quite a lot more shore access than I thought there would be. And that is a good thing for us bank anglers. Having access to different spots just might get you on some fish. I also have to say that these spots are rather shallow. So I'm thinking if you're out here in summer, or maybe in spring when they move up shallow for spawn, that might be an easier time for us bank anglers to get them. Otherwise, having a little kayak or a boat with electric motor, that might be a good way to get out and try and find the fish. But all in all, goal achieved. We wanted to get some largemouth bass, and we finally got our Canadian largemouth. So please do give me a little thumbs up for catching that football of a bass. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. And if you're new to my channel, consider hitting subscribe, joining my community. Alright, but as it's getting pretty windy, I want to thank you guys for following. And like always, see you next time.